I'm just running through the parts that I'm going to be using on the engine on this new Lambretta build that I've started on. This is what I constitute as a dream touring engine. If you want to learn more, then grab yourself a coffee and I'll see you after the intro. So this scooter needs a little bit of an introduction. It is 1960 Li 150, and this is my next project for a customer. And the owner, Georgie, he bought this in, I'm not sure where he bought him, so I'm not going to bullshit you, but he bought this in boxes. And he, with help of a friend, he sort of loosely screwed this thing together. The engine does work, but he's actually been inspired by the channel, and he wants to join us on our national rally next year. That is in Bergen, and he lives just outside of where does he live? Gjøvik, where I broke down last year, or broke down this year. What's it called? My tank leaked. One of the places where my tank leaked on my way home. And he wants to join the boys from Gjøvik, and girls. There's quite a few girls, actually, the old Vespitas there. And they're going to want to join those and ride over the mountains to Bergen. So my priority here is to make something really reliable. Now, Georgie, he's not a technical wizard, although I'm pretty sure he can wield a spanner. He is a North Sea diver, which sounds like a spooky job. But anyway, I want to make this thing as reliable and as bump-proof as possible. And that's what I want to show you now. 99.9% of the engines that I build for other people, what they ask for is something reliable and bomb-proof. And if I've built quite a few of these engines now, and I think some of the stuff that I use in these engines is overkill, but I do think it's better sometimes to overbuild them, because stuff like clutches can be a bit finicky. I really like to buy some new parts, and I've bought loads of parts through the last like 20-25 years. Quite a few, some good, a lot of bad. And this is sort of the this is sort of the recipe that I've ended up building for the last 4 or 5 engines to the lads that wanted something reliable and bomb-proof. And I've absolutely had no problems with any of the engines that I have built, apart from on John's, where he blew a drive side oil seal, which is something that can happen. But yeah, let's delve in and have a look. I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you all about it. So the thing is, you can. The beauty about the cylinder that I've chosen for this kit, you all know what it is almost before I say anything. And because I am building this on an original Li 150 casing, I have gone for the very trusty, if you ask me, very trusty BGM RT195 kit designed by Mark Broadhurst. And you can choose to fit reed valves, all sorts of stuff like that. Tune them if you want. But I have actually found that if you build these 195 kits with a 60 times 110 rod, you get not only do you get quite a reliable scooter, you get quite a feisty scooter as well, depending on what sort of exhaust system you want to go for. I found these really, really reliable, and all these parts that I've bought that's going to go into this engine, they just slot together nicely, and there's no messing around. It just makes the job really, really easy. So that is one of the reasons why I go for this. You could obviously choose a Mugello kit as well. There's loads of kits out there. Do they still do Rapido for small block? I'm not sure. But there are quite a few kits out there. GT, they have reed. So in one sense, maybe the GT kit may be better bang for buck, because that comes with a reed valve, as does Imola. You can get Imler that fits a small block, and you can get the RB20, which also fits a small block. That's a bit more feisty. They're quite a lot of fun, but I think for touring, for if you're both new into scooters and you just want to get some proper reliability out of the engine, then I recommend these RT kits. You know I do, and I've done thousands and thousands of miles on those, and the ones that I've built, I've done thousands of miles without any problems whatsoever. The quality of these kits is very nice. Like I said, they slot together lovely, and I haven't really had any issues. The first RT kits, they have problems with the ring pegs, but then they changed their piston maker, manufacturer, and they've been fine ever since. So the beauty with the RT kits, originally Mark Broadhurst from MB fame, who designed the RT kit. The reason why he designed it with, like, the ports are relatively kind or mellow, and what that means is it's really easy to set up. Extreme port timings, they can be a pain in the arse to jet. This is very easy to jet, and I found as well that once I started setting up these, most of them are near enough the same jetting settings, which is really nice. So there's like no real big variations on these, but they do pull really well. And both the lads that I went to travelled with to Lisa Furon this year, they really kicked the arse out of their throttles there, and they've been really reliable. And one thing to note as well, a lot of people that do a lot of miles, they're running the old mighty RT kits, be it 225 or 195 that we've got here. Now, the thing that I wanted to mention was, the thing is, if you've got a half decent engine, if you had a crankshaft that's pretty good, you know you've got a clutch that's been reliable, you can actually bolt these on the top and not really do much about them. Depending on the exhaust, you may need to change the gearing, but when I do a full rebuild like this, and Jørvik, with that being like 8 hours away from me, it's really hard for me to give the owner of this one, at least, some kind of guarantee. I can't like run up there and just like tweak it a little bit or take it apart and say, because this is miles away. So I really need this to be really reliable. I say really a lot, don't I? So these are the parts that I am going for in this engine. These are overkill, but sometimes overkill is actually pretty good, because I am going to be using some parts here that can withstand quite a lot of horsepower, and that does mean if the owner of this engine wants to upgrade down the line, he can do that easily without having to think about the other parts. But it also means that with these parts being overkill, it means he's going to get thousands and thousands of miles of trouble-free miles. This is something I've been really looking forward to open. It is the new BGM crankshaft. These have been out of stock for quite a while. Because this is a 60 by 110, they do come with different size packers that suit the RT kit, both head gaskets and base gasket. Makes life easy for us. They do presume you're going to be using this in the RT, although obviously you can use it in what you want. The special thing about this crankshaft is full of gug. Let me find a cloth of something. It's a bit sticky. So this is the first time I've had this one in particular, because this is, wow, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Very nicely made. In my Casa performance engines, I've got two. I use the same crankshaft, sort of crankshaft manufacturer, as BGM is used here. These are made by Primatist, the Italian crankshaft makers, and this is what I have in my, the maker, that is. The maker has made the crankshaft for my Sledgehammer 333 engine, and I also have a Primatist in my RT, and that has done like almost 40,000 kilometers. Nice thing about this is got these like weights on inside there, and these are actually balanced to suit RT kits. Not obviously scientifically, but because all pistons, this could go in 195 or a 225, but I find they are generally quite smooth. One thing that they've done as well to improve the design, look at that rod, looks very nice, no sharp edges. One thing they've done to improve the design is, I see already, is this seal edge can catch your seal and pop off the little retaining ring. So that has been chamfered slightly, so that's good. And the big end itself, silver big end, looks really nice. Oh, there's quite some heft in here, quite a heavy crankshaft, so that means you're going to get a really nice smooth engine. Nice tick over. Beautiful, very nice. Obviously, you can use something like a Taimini as well, and you can also use the Taimini. The Taimini. You can use the Taimini. I think they come in both 60, 57, and various rod lengths. You can use those as well, but these are expensive. But I've had absolutely zero reliability issues with BGM crankshaft. So even though they've changed manufacturer, to one that we know who is, and I've been pleased with those. So yeah, fingers crossed. I think this is going to be a great build. One thing to take note of is, obviously, if you're going to buy a new crankshaft and you have an LI, then buy a GP type crankshaft, because that's got a fatter taper and they're a bit stronger. So if you're going to buy a new crankshaft, then please do spend the time and bother to change it over to the more modern DLGP type. It just saves you a bit of faffing around down the line. Although that does mean you have to change, if you're not going to change out your whole electrical equipment, you will definitely have to change out your flywheel. So this is another item. I was actually a little bit skeptical to these when they first came out, because I am an avid LTH lover, and I have used LTH clutches in all sorts of engines, had loads and loads of problem-free miles with those. I have to say, I've used these in the last 5 or 6 builds, and this does the job just as well as the LTH. It might be slightly harder on the lever action, but there's not a lot in it. You can also, they come with these special red corks, which I have found work really well, and you can also change them out to the LTH style corks as well. The CR, what they call CR80 corks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 plate, where LTH is like a 7 plate. New these and the top plate. But these generally, or not generally, the difference between these, if you're not used to like the modern sort of clutches, these are quite on off. So is the LTH and the Casa Performance. So they need a little bit more concentration when you are adjusting their clutch wire tension. Just make sure that you do that correctly. I have got a video out somewhere about that. But that's the only really sort of issue with them. And once you've set these up, they'll last for ages. I remember back in the day, I used to have a TS1, and I used ages and ages to sort out the clutch on that thing. It didn't really fix it until I bought the LTH. Slipping plates, strong springs, these work really well. Let's have a look. This one has come with green springs, I think, and that is like the medium strength springs. It can probably on RT, if you haven't got an expansion pipe, probably get away with using the softer springs as well, I reckon. Right, put that away. Another sort of maybe non-essential item you should swap is the chain. I always use Iris chains, the best from Germany. This is, by the way, a what size chain is it? I can't see because there's some oil on there. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure I bought the correct one, because what I've done is I have bought a 46 tooth clutch and 16 tooth front sprocket. That gives me, I think, 495 or somewhere in there, just around 5 on the final drive, and that should suit the exhaust that I'm going to be using, which is BGM Sport Curly. I quite like those. I like the way that they deliver their power. It feels like an expansion exhaust when you're right on top of the power, but it's got that nice grunty clubman feel in the mid-range. So I bought that for him. And also a very non-essential item, probably overkill, but I like these. It proved to be very reliable, at least in my engines. It's the X44 Casa Performance pull down chain tensioner, which can obviously be used on the correct way around as well. Another little upgrade while I'm here is when I rebuild LI 150 engines, they come with the small silent blocks. I like to upgrade those with the large silent blocks, the later ones. And my favorite silent box at the moment, they have to be the BGM. Really like those. The least vibration of the ones I've ridden the last few years at least. And when you upgrade to those, you obviously need to upgrade to a new, longer engine bolt to accommodate the extra size of the silent blocks. What else have we got on the shelf here? I have also got a new sliding dog. I have also got somewhere in the box down below, I have got a new spring and balls for the sliding dog for the gears. So I'm just like a lover of changing stuff like this, because it's a bit of a pain to get to. Once you build the engine, you find out it's jumping out of gears or something like that. So I like to change these parts on unknown engines. And that's just bearings for that can go in there. That was just bearings for the headset. I also like to buy these. One problem with tuning engines and ages of side cases is that on series 1 and 2 and 3, the early ones, you don't have the strengthening ribs on the side case. Another thing is that the kickstart shafts are quite weak, and the side case itself is quite weak. So I really do like to convert these to with a GP side case. It's not 100% necessary, but I'm very pleased that he did. The owner has done his homework, and he asked me to do that straight away. So what I ended up buying was, come in, get up there. There's this lovely looking thing, which at the moment I reckon is probably the best replacement, original type replacement you can get at the moment. Who makes these? Is it UNI? We've obviously got Gran Turismo makes some nice side cases, but this is, I think, is the best bang for buck. It is the UNI item, And I think it looks very nice. Pre-drilled, which is brilliant. You know, this is the GP DL type with the strengthening ribs here. Big fat strengthening rib there. Because what happens is, if you've got high compression, obviously this way, you can break the whole case. But that's got that, the strengthening ribs. And the nice thing is they already come pre-drilled and pre-tapped so that you can use the Li type kickstart ramp, which is the type I prefer. But you can also use a DL if that's what you've got as well. Just gives a nice option there. And it saves me having to piss around with my drill press, which is very nice, thank you. Another upgrade the customer reseller has asked for is a new rear hub and new Layshaft. And that's because he's pretty keen and he's been watching my videos, and I'm an advocate for that. I like to change Layshafts. I think actually the next video that I'm going to be putting out after this one will be changing the Layshaft, because I have a mate of mine that's coming up with his engine, and we are going to be changing his Layshaft for him. I'll show you how to do that, which should be fun. Just take note, this is, by the way, is the UNI, which I haven't actually had in my hands before. This is the UNI hub. I've on my other builds I've used FA Italia. I've also used the Scutopia. This is the first time having a UNI in my hands. It looks very nice there, and it looks like a nice machined surface for the brakes. Looks very nice in here, by the way. That looks great. Apparently, they use the strengthened design, so that should be good. One thing to note is when you get a new hub, make sure that you use the corresponding cone that comes with it, unless of course you have gone for the octopus hub, which I have done on my previous builds, but this should be really good. The customer also wants me to let me put this away. The customer also wants me to upgrade it to tubeless, which is nice. So these come without the studs, so I won't have to mess around trying to remove those. And I've also got hold of, although I'm going to talk about that in a later video, I've also got hold of a new strengthened plate for the front drum. This needs zero introduction. This is the BGM BGM or SIP Vape. This one is BGM. And these have been super reliable. I've had one CDI fail, but it didn't really fail. It came to me already broken. So that was a variable timing CDI, and it didn't do the variable bit. And believe it or not, I got a brand new one, no questions asked, from that was from SIP of all places. So that's the only thing I've ever seen go wrong with them. I haven't heard of people having to stand around by the roadside with bust CDIs and stuff like that. So they seem to be the most reliable form of electronic ignition you can buy at the moment. So that's why I always fit these now. I have also bought new spring for the front sprocket. I will be using lots of parts from this engine to fit over, but the essential ones, you know, like the kickstart shaft. I've also bought the MB shim, kickstart shaft shim system that they have there, that you can use a fat shim so that you can tighten that down so that it doesn't come in conflict with your clutch, which a lot of those do. What else have I bought for the engine? New kickstart spring. That's actually a SIL item. Brand new carb. This is actually the cheaper YSN, which is the basically a Delotto PHP 30 copy. It's called the YSN 30. I am running these in both my scooters. I've had absolutely no problems whatsoever with it. So don't really be worried about the price on these. They're half the price of the Delottos, and they do just as good a job, if you ask me. Rob, you was talking about the Layshaft. I use these. I've also used I've used Casa Layshafts, a couple of them, but this is what I've been using on the last, I think, 7 or 8 builds. It's the, I'm not sure if you can see it there, BGM Layshaft. Looks very nice. And I haven't had any problem shimming these or anything like that. So we'll see how that goes, because this, incidentally, is the same type of Layshaft which I'll be fitting in the other engine that's coming next week, which will be the next video. We'll see if we've got any problems with the with fitting new gears on that. Last but not least, my manifold of choice is actually the BGM. These are also quite expensive, Overkill, but I've had no problem with them, and the rubbers seem to last ages. I haven't changed. I actually use this rubber on my sledgehammer because I just can't trust the ones that Casa Performance make. So these are the rubbers. They fit on this. Let me open it so you can have a look. Like so. They got a little lip on here, makes it easy to seal. They fit in here like this. Nice. And I actually find as well that the angle on these is very nice too, so it's quite easy to get to all the adjustments on it, and it keeps it away. It's quite short. It does keep it away from the panel. So if you want to use a filter, which I will be using on this one, then you've got no problems whatsoever. I'll talk about that later on. But the quality of these is pretty good. Solid CNC machined. This one actually looks a little bit rougher than the ones that I've had in the past. It's definitely going to do the job. Nice light item. Obviously, I am going to be changing all the bearings, all the stuff that can break. And you can see those wobbly can there. But yeah, this is what I reckon is sort of, or not sort of, this would be my dream build for a touring scooter. If you fancy spending more money for no reason, then my camera is a little bit wonky. That might OCD is. There you go. Yeah, if you fancy spending even more money on it, you can get some tuner to put a reed valve on the RT. I haven't tried an RT195 with a reed valve. I have tried a RT225 with a reed valve and one without as well. The difference between those is it doesn't spit as much petrol, maybe uses less petrol. It's a little bit more mid-range and will rev out slightly. It sounds like a win-win, but these are quite marginal. But it does depend on your choice of exhaust there as well. But yeah, if you want a bit more speed, then and a bit more faffing around, because maybe your reed valve, another extra item there, and now I'm waffling. Try again. Obviously, I like to change out all the stuff like the bearings and stuff like that. All the seals, change those out to the Vuitton seals. If you want to use loads more money on this is basically what I would say was a dream build for touring and just pottering around to the shops and for reliability. You can, if you want to spend more money, get a local tuner to fit a reed valve and fit a boost port, grind a boost port, fit a reed valve. That does cost quite a bit of money. Some say it goes to the expense of reliability as well, because that's one more part that can go wrong. But I don't agree. It's been a while since I did at least 30,000 kilometers on my reed valve that was on the RT240 of mine, so I'm not really too worried about that. But that's extra expense, and another extra expense if you want to make it a little bit more easier to do maintenance on it. You could buy something like the Gran Turismo or the Casa Performance engine case, which does allow you to change the seals without having to take out your crankshaft. But that is super expensive. One thing I'm going to do is, in the description of this video, I am going to put links to all the most important parts that are in this build if you fancy having a go at one yourself. And the nice thing is, the links that are down below in the description, they're actually affiliate links. That means that if you buy these parts via those links, that I get a small blowback that goes back into my account at the Scooter Centre. So that'd be interesting. It might be another way to run a channel if that works. Doesn't mean that the channel is sponsored by BGM. It just means so it's got nothing to do with my opinion. But if that's a way of a dealer to help me keep the channel going, I'm really pleased with that. So yeah, go and have a look at the links and in the comments below. So the next video, as I said, we will maybe the videos on the Triumph, they are going to be coming like in between the videos of the Lambretta. So I've got loads, I've got my work cut out for me a bit here. But because I get so few views on the Triumph, I'm just going to pop those out as I build it. And I think the videos on the Lambretta videos, they're going to come out every other week, something like that, every other Friday, maybe a little bit more often, because like I said, the next video, I've got John coming up. He wants me to change his Layshaft, going to fit a new BGM Layshaft. He's taken out his engine today, very good lad. So that means that when it comes up there, I'm going to split the engine, and I will show you, run you through the pitfalls that might be when you want to change your Layshaft, and why we change the Layshaft, because I haven't talked about that in this video. And I will love you and leave you, and I will see you all in the next one. But don't forget, do the old subscribe, give me a thumbs up, write comment down below. Is this your dream engine? What would your dream engine build be? Would it be something like this? Am I completely off my trolley for thinking this is a really good tourer? Comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra.